Hey everybody, welcome back to Warhammer 40k. So our next stop here has to be Silence of Mer's Secret over here. And we have two ways to get there, but we don't want to go this way, right? We don't want to make this route yellow or green. We want to go back to Telikos Epsilon and then go this way, right? The enforcers report that your pet Eldari is in a foul mood and is moving toward the captain's bridge. We didn't dare to stop here, but I expect that you have a difficult conversation ahead of you. Wait, what? Is that really it? What is that walk?
Please spare me a brief moment of your time, Elantak. Azurion knows that I do not care about the curious glances of Monkey. I grew inured to them back in the blossoming gardens of the Lilithon. They curse me from afar. They follow my every move. They ward themselves against me. Let them. After all, what can be done with such weak-minded, primitive creatures?
Okay, what do you want though?
And still, one monkey stunt has caused the cup of my patience to spill over. She dared to approach me, to speak to me, and touching my hand, she suggested that we withdraw somewhere private.
Huh.
She wanted K-Morag. The mere memory of it stirs up a tempest in my soul.
Okay, dude. Okay. Fraternizing with a Xenos unspeakable heresy? I wouldn't mind going somewhere private with you either. I mean, if you dislike how my people behave, try to spend your time somewhere more out of the way, right?
I will do just that, Monkey. For the minuscule chance of saving my kin, I am prepared to pay this price. But everything has its limit.
Okay. Well, that was a short one. And uneventful, which is good, I think. So let's go over here. Oh my god, again. I keep receiving reports about malfunctions among the various ship systems. This time we're dealing with inexplicable temperature fluctuations. Thermal control failures were observed not only in individual compartments, but even in the soldiers' protective equipment. Several crew members have suffered from burns and frostbite. The tech priests are performing the rites of machine spirit pacification and remain convinced that the issues were caused by the spirit's obstinacy and defiance. The reports claim that the incidents remain well within the scope of expected performance parameters. Over the last few days though, complaints about the malfunctioning thermal controls have dwindled, but the crew members have started whispering that our vessel is haunted. The tech priest's assurances that only the machine spirit's tempers are to blame are doing nothing to dissuade those ridiculous rumors. Oh my god, okay. We're never gonna progress, huh? Wait, what? We're taking a bath? What the? What is this? Is this about Kibela again? Her quest? Sourback! How could you have let this happen? An assassination attempt upon the rogue trader in his own chambers, right under the noses of your enforcers? The Master at Arms radiates grim fury, her eyes are dark, her lips pursed. With a practiced hand, she removes the mold from her belt and offers it to you. An unforgivable error. I accept full responsibility and ask for due punishment. Take the mole and beat Sourback with it. I mean, it's true. How could you have let that happen? Sourback clenches her teeth through every one of your blows. Not a single sound escapes her throat. Not even when the mold steel head breaks her nose and splits open her lips. After you finish, she receives her weapon back and bows, all the while maintaining the same impeccable bearing. Thank you, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to report. All adjacent decks have been isolated. We have begun our search for the culprit and have set up investigation headquarters on the officer's deck. The substance has been analyzed and confirmed to be blood containing traces of major mutations. While it poses no risk of infection to your lordship, the very presence of such genetic aberration on board is a serious threat to the safety of the ship and must be addressed promptly. Once word of this gets out, many among the crew will surely see it as a brazen challenge to your status as a rogue trader. What genetic aberration? The heresy of mutilation. Mutants are vicious beasts who sow only ruin and death. They are devoid of all humanity, and the vile blood that runs through their veins feeds their unclean thoughts and urges. Numerous accounts speaks of entire colonies falling prey to bloody uprisings staged by these creatures, all because their governors were too squeamish to order genetic purges. You don't say! I wonder why somebody we don't consider human and exterminated by the thousands who think to revolt. What a crazy mystery! Alas, the Imperium's enemies are not limited only to those outside its borders. Mutants can become a considerable threat, especially when given a chance to reorganize. The heretics have revealed themselves and are eager to fight? Then fight we shall. Let the vessel be purged of their filth. Could this have been an assassination attempt? Then they would have filled the bath with acid or poison instead. There are easier ways to kill someone than drowning them in blood, as foul as that blood may be. I beg to differ. Were something of this sort to happen to me, my heart would surely stop. What do you intend to do next? Lord Captain, this incident has cast a shadow on our honor. We only ask for one thing, a chance to absolve ourselves of our guilt. Allow me to head to the officer's deck at once, so that I may lead the investigation personally. Lord Captain, on a previous occasion, it was your intervention that resolved a matter that my own rigidity had only succeeded in making worse. With all due respect to Mr. Sourback, perhaps he could benefit from your first perspective. I mean, yeah, maybe. Seneschal? Do you think so little of me that you would rob me of a chance to defend my honor? I'm curious to see the Master at Arms in action. I will preside over the investigation. I will handle it myself. Yeah, I'll handle it myself. Lord Captain, I implore you. This was my mistake. If you rectify it for me, I will be disgraced. Consider it my whim. I have always wished to participate in a real inquest. Come on, Sourback. Could it ever be a disgrace to face a challenge shoulder to shoulder with your lord? I had not considered it like that. Your resolve is commendable. She forgot to say Lord Captain there. A brazen attempt on the rogue trader's life took place in his own bath chamber. Ablution in blood. I will wait your arrival at the headquarters on the officer's deck to brief you on our current progress. Okay, I mean, I guess we're not doing whatever it was we were doing previously.
Lord Captain.
Oh, sorry.
Lord.
You haven't heard? The rogue trader's new pet forced some of the servants off the lower level. That's where she lurks now, in the shadows. Permission to report. Granted, do we have anything on those temperature shifts? The technomats concluded that they could have been caused by a system failure, but no such failure was confirmed. The tech priests are praying to the Omnissiah in hopes of resolving the issue. Why is an officer reporting to another officer? Wait, Iliad is here. Were they talking about Kibella? Wait, where is Kibella? Did she leave? No, she's still here. Huh. I'm not sure who they were talking about earlier for the lower decks. So we have to go to the officer's deck. Oh yeah, and by the way, I think I'm gonna drop Irliet and put Idira back in. I wanted to replace Pascal, but the thing with Pascal is that he's the only one that has tech use and logic, right? And Irliet, the only things he has is lower Xenos. So, I don't know, man, I don't know. I really want to replace Pascal because he's useless, but Idira should be really good for us. I made her like a full buffer and debuffer. I made her a Sanctic and a Biomancer, so she basically spec'd into all of the schools, minus Pyromancy of course. But yeah, she should be like really strong. His Lordship the Rock Trader wishes to handle the investigation personally. Lord Captain, the 3 officers before you have been tasked with conducting the investigation. The first, Captain Klein, is a veteran with a record of quelled uprisings of mutant abominations in the colonies. Captain Ginevri is young, but she has already preempted several mutinies among the ship's rabble. Lastly, there is Captain Hrotko. His interrogation skills deserve credit, and he knows how to instill fear and respect firmly in the minds of the riffraff. Okay, so Klein, Ginevri, and Hrotko. What are your findings thus far? We have discovered the worker's corpse, mutilated and dissected, or sorry, not desiccated. We're still looking into the man's identity and position, but the chirurgeon's report has confirmed that, among all the blood that was pumped into your bath chamber, the blood carrying mutations was indeed his. Huh. The workers from the nearby decks have all been checked for genetic aberration, but the mutations identified are all within the norm for laboring masses. They're being rounded up for the interrogation as we speak. Even taking into account the neighboring decks only, that constitutes hundreds of people. How do you plan to question them all? Our interrogation techniques are broad and varied. However, nothing loosens the tongue like corporal punishment, beatings, mutilations, torture, public executions. When combined with psychological pressure, such methods work wonders. A fine approach, I approve. I'm delighted to hear it, Lord Captain. It is always a pleasure to meet a connoisseur of the craft. Do you have any working theories though? The mutants are plotting, they've been breeding like void rats, so they're getting cocky. Must have wanted to infect your lordship with their plague. It wasn't an attempt on the Lord Captain's life, it was a threat. The rabble are planning a revolt, so they're trying to terrorize us. Soon you will drown in blood. Insurgents pride themselves on such metaphors. Meanwhile, Captain Hrotko is convinced that it was the work of Voigtvir's surviving cultists. However, I believe this to be a warning rather than a threat. What we need to establish is who is trying to warn us and of what. So what do you propose we investigate first? The body. Once we have ascertained the dead man's identity, we will be able to locate his associates and narrow down the number of suspects. Captain Klein is in charge of examining the corpse. The body was discovered on a suspended platform not far from the room with the armillary sphere. Armillary sphere? What the hell is that? Armillary sphere, what the hell is that? Take a left once you are out of the mess hall, your lordship, and go along the balcony. The corpse is on the next platform after the one holding the Infernus Guild suspects. I'll show you around the scene once you are there. Infernus Guild suspects? Yes, your lordship. They're undergoing an interrogation like all the rest. The scum refused to comply, so they were isolated on a separate platform. The Inferni are a rotten bunch. They must be involved in this. So we can ask the Infernus Master, right? What was his name? I don't even remember. Okay, let's go. Inspect the body. Okay, we have stuff down here. Albeit very little. Enforcer Arts Transcriptor? The mounts of protocols enclose the Arts Transcriptors like paper bastions. You blink and already another thick folder is added to the fortifications. Bureaucracy, man. I tell you. Okay, I don't see anything else here. We have Yocasta over there. The cabinet... Okay, yeah, we've seen this already with Cassia. Yeah, this is where we started the game, basically. Oh, that has to be the body. Oh, we can't go here, though. I don't know nothing. Yeah, they're interrogating everyone. Crew officers. Who do these enforcers
Crimson,
think they are?
black, cerulean, grey. It has all become an ugly whirlwind of muck. Rage and despair have poisoned the bay.
Yeah, we can see. Damn, look at this, dude. Infernus worker. All you catch is a faint few moans. You cannot tell if they are pleas for mercy or for a swift death. Roar! Dude, they're just beating everyone. Oh, there he is. Heinrich Montek, the Infernus Master. He spits blood onto the deck right in front of the enforcer lying nearby, unconscious. Heinrich's lip is busted, his knuckles are grazed and covered with blood, and there is a chewed up law stick between his teeth. Great work, guys. With a menacing growl, Heinrich looms over the second enforcer, who is holding his baton at the ready. Why are you assaulting my people and denying them water like they're criminals? You've got teenagers and elderly folk here. They're all just ordinary workers, they've done nothing wrong. They're all guilty until proven otherwise? You think a kid or an old man wouldn't do something that might threaten the Lord Captain's life? Once we light a bit of fire under them, who knows, perhaps someone will confess. So sod off, traitor spawn, or I'll put a baton through your skull for attacking an enforcer. I couldn't care less about your rank. Your lordship, I ask you to please protect your servants from this abuse. Have patience, Heinrich. As soon as the culprit is found, your people will be released. In that case, I request permission to join my family. No, a senior officer has their duties. See to them, that is an order. You see no anger in Heinrich's eyes, only bitterness and worry. He breathes in, then out. As you command, Lord Captain. I hope you find the culprit before another 100 workers are forced to suffer the same undue punishment. Okay. So we can go here. And look at this guy. Oh shit. The worker was beaten with skill and care was taken not to damage his joints. He is suffering, but he can still work for the dynasty. I do not care if you are the master helmsman. There has been an assassination attempt on the Lord Captain. Enforcer Arts Transcriptor. This is the 10th autoquill I've used up today. They're just beating everyone. The interrogation transcripts are strikingly redundant. They record everything from the direction of the questioned person's gaze to the length of the pauses between their answers. Oh. Oh, this is probably the way to go. Oh, here's Klein. The desiccated body is horribly mutilated. What was once a face is now a shapeless mass of flesh and bone shards. The worker's ruined body lies in a waxen pile on the platform. His face is crushed, his throat open, and his body is riddled with cuts and lacerations. Above it stands Captain Klein, the dim light filling the lines on his forehead with shadows that bleed down his furrowed brows and into the pits of his eyes. The scalpel in his hand trembles faintly. It might look human, but what's inside it is all wrong. Unholy. Irredeemable. Wrong. Have you started the autopsy yet? I have, but I will get back to it in just a moment, your lordship. So you can ask them to cease the violence, but we won't do that. Is something the matter? You look pale. Klein hesitates. I suppressed a dozen mutant revolts on Dargonus for Lady Theodora. I've torn the freaks to pieces myself. But to open one up? To sink my hands into their impure guts infested with a mutant blight? Ugh. I have seen this aberration utterly pervert the human form. The thought of it touching me. Disgusting. Infuriating. But I will overcome this. Cold black fear colors his soul. I doubt it can be cast off by mere force of will. I mean, I was drenched in his blood. If the mutations were contagious, I would have mutated by now. You haven't mutated yet, your lordship. Dude, is he serious? He wants us to do it ourselves? I mean, I guess. Hand me that scalpel. I will perform the autopsy. You record the findings. Really? Such disobedience, man. Can we punish him for that? The skin and bones part and the stench of rancid meat hit your nostrils. Klein empties his stomach over the deck railing. Fighting the urge to vomit yourself, you peer at the vile mass of subhuman entrails. You refuse to submit to fear and revulsion. One foul corpse is nothing to someone who has triumphed over his own fate and achieved the impossible. I wonder what this means though. You look at the mutant's insides without a moment's hesitation. Vestigial ingrown arms wrap around what looks like the vile semblances of familiar organs interlaced with scaly bile-colored sacs. Yikes. Lord Zeno's test failed. I mean, I guess if we had early Ed here, maybe we could have done this, but... Medicae... The body was mutilated to hide the cause of death. Someone wanted to deliberately make it harder to identify the victim and his cause of death. The truth is, the killer acted quickly and with surgical precision, then suspended the body upside down to drain its blood. I mean, this has to be the work of the Bloodspan web, right? Investigate the entrails. Oh, hell yeah. The twisted abnormalities of the mutant's insides make you wonder if he can even be considered human at all. As you probe deeper, your hand finds something lodged in the victim's gullet. Someone has stuffed a black feather into the man's throat. A certain legend springs to your mind, one involving Saint Kyrin, who was granted a portent of enemies hiding among the faithful. When Kyrin prayed to the Emperor for a sign that might reveal the traitors, a raven's feather burst out of her mouth to inscribe the names of the conspirators. Only someone versed in the symbology of the Imperium could have left such a message. I mean, I feel like this is more proof that it was a Bloodspan web, right? Look for identifying marks. With some difficulty, you're able to discern a mark on his neck, almost ruined by the wound across his throat. It is a tattoo of a skull with a valve in its mouth and a string of letters and numbers encircling it. SP24601. Okay, we're done. That was... foul. Your lordship, I must commend your fearlessness and insight, and apologize for my weakness of spirit. My shameful fear prevented me from doing my duty. It will not happen again. Oh, it will. Ha! Sanitation work is an excellent means of hardening those of tender character. When the investigation is complete, you shall join the mutant corpse disposal unit on the lower decks. Klein lets out a ragged breath and then draws himself up straight, speaking in a clipped tone. Yes, Lord Captain. Someone tried to conceal the victim's identity and cause of death. You have a keen eye, your lordship. But why would someone do that, then leave the body in plain sight? They could have just disposed of it. There has to be something more to this whole bloody business. Bloody business. You turn your attention to the floor around the corpse. There is no spatter, no gobs of flesh, no bloody footprints fortuitously trailing into the dark. And yet, you know there is no way to butcher a corpse like that without getting dirty at all. Someone stuffed a feather down his gullet, a reference to the legend of Saint Kirin. Well spotted, your lordship. No doubt you have already reached the same conclusion, but I will state it for the official record. Vile mutants do not make allusions to saints. This was someone versed in the creed. I mean, okay, it has to be the Bloodspan Web. He has a tattoo on his neck, a skull with a valve and a few symbols. That's the symbol of a pipe warden clan that maintains the sewer systems. The SP stands for Senior Pipe Warden, followed by his identification number. Ginevri is working on the work log cogitator, so you can use it to learn the victim's name from his number. The cogitator is in the nearest maintenance room. Oh, that has to be the place we saw earlier, right? Whoop. Wait, what was that? What did we spot there? This? A scrap of human skin with jagged edges is stuck to the deck? Oh, there's blood here. Wait. You notice a few drops of blood that have somehow managed to avoid being trodden on. The blood does not appear all that fresh, but it has not fully dried yet either. A lift to the Lord Captain's quarters is hidden behind the metal plating here. On the day of Voigtvir's betrayal, or mutiny, you saw Lady Theodora leave the officer's deck this way. Okay, more blood. Tech Priest, Androveta Phi. Oh, here's Ginevri. Okay, one sec. Let me go this way first. What is this? A bloody synth coat was found near the scene. It is a standard part of the Enforcer's uniform. Someone has shoved a tattered and blooded synth coat into the vent. Okay. Technomats. The water supply system in the Lord Captain's quarters has been desecrated by the infusion of undesignated fluid. A sacrament of reconsecration is required. Yeah, consecrate that water. I need the bath after this. So what do we have here? You're obstructing the investigation, esteemed tech priest. I require the information stored by this machine spirit. If you refuse to cooperate... Petition rejected. A malady has befallen the machine spirit of the honored master cogitator. Unauthorized anguish will worsen its condition and impede treatment. I will not stand for such acts of brutality against the great elder. I'll show you brutality, you blasted cog! What's going on here? The greatly esteemed tech priest Androveta Phi does not seem to realize the importance of investigative action and refuses to grant anyone access to the master cogitator. Exalted ruler of the vessel, I mean not to harm, but to protect. I merely care for the machine spirit's health. It has fallen ill of late, and now its temper is worse than ever. If the laywoman starts torturing it now, the venerable spirit may take offense and leave us forever. Taking the logs of the laypeople's toils with it, this must be prevented. This statement is true. The incident catalogue on this vessel contains no less than 12 instances of grievous loss of data due to disrespect shown to the machine spirit by unauthorized units. Ginevri, why do you seek access to the malfunctioning cogitator? I mean, she's looking for the name of the dude, right? Yeah. This laywoman doesn't even know what she wanted to inquire from the blessed elder. Blasphemous disrespect. We need to investigate this cogitator in order to obtain information? I mean, yeah. Ruler of the vessel, why do you insist on interrogating an elderly soul when it is in such a miserable state? You're making a mockery of the Omniscience tenets and the privileges of the priesthood of Mars. I will count to 3. Pascal, talk some sense into her. As Engine Seer Prime of this vessel, I hereby lift the ban on interaction with a machine spirit that has been afflicted by a take ailment of a known category. I grant this layman right of access to the Master Cogitator under my careful supervision for the purposes of procuring knowledge and establishing the truth. The identity of the Engine Seer Prime is confirmed. Privileges granted. I petition for the well-being of the machine spirit to be given utmost priority. Oh god, this is so much reading. At your approach, the lumens on the Master Cogitator's bulky hull light up peevishly, and the cooling filters breathe an exasperated sigh. The machine spirit appears to be in a rotten mood. In the name of upholding the blessed axiomatics, I'm initiating the accompanying tech service. O calculating machine spirit, blessed in omniscience, luminous in the darkness of ignorance, may the regalia be revealed, may the prayers of access be said, may these restrictive circuits be removed. Courteously introduce yourself by inputting your data to show respect for the machine spirit. Proudly present your Lord Captain's privileges and access levels to the machine. I mean, okay, these are fun and all, but like, at the end of the day, this is the only thing that's gonna work, right? We have to follow the instructions. After an unnecessarily long verification process, the Cogitator recognizes the possibility that you may indeed be the ship's Lord Captain. A string of technolingua on the vid screen tells you that you may now input your request. Okay, humbly ask for the data on the toils of the ship's workers. Beside itself with anger, the Cogitator sparks you or sprays you with sparks. As its vid screen dims and flickers, you hear a spiteful whir and find yourself staring at an incomprehensible mess of symbols. Apparently, the spirit refuses to comply on account of some blocker A403. Oh, the spirit is truly unwell. Why else would the blocker A403 prevent it from sharing such data, especially after a log ritual of greeting? Observing a critical distortion of the sacred code, initiating the sacrament of hibernation and anointing of the holy machine's data cards. Treat the Cogitator's boards with thermal unction, let it slumber for a while, then awaken it once more. O Deus Mechanicus, bestow an impulse of miraculous transformation upon the noospheric spirit of this machine, and may it rise again from its sacred data dream. The unction as well as the short breather have done wonders for the old spirit's disposition. Mollified, it wipes the data blocker from the vid screen and agrees to indulge your enquiries. Inquire about the cause of the old Cogitator's ailment? Oh, hell yeah. Someone deliberately sabotaged the Master Cogitator in an attempt to conceal the work logs. Registering a Category 3 act of sacrilege resulting in a Category Epsilon Quadro transgressive scenario. Requesting the inclusion of the offender in the registry of wanted entities for the purpose of expiative disposal. What is that word? Expiative? Request information about the number. After mulling over your question for a while, the spirit recalls that the number is assigned to a senior pipe warden by the name of Orto. This Orto and his partner spent the last watch servicing Valve 27B, which supplies water to the Rotator's chambers. After finishing up the maintenance, only Orto's partner reported in. That's the same valve that was used to pump the blood into the bath chamber. That must be where they killed Orto before dragging his corpse onto the deck. Request information about the pipe warden's partner? At first, the Cogitator feigns ignorance out of spite, pretending not to recognize your request. But, after 4 more attempts, the spirit takes pity on you. Orto's partner was Senior Pipe Warden Guidon, number SP blah blah. Guidon has not reported for duty since the incident. We have our suspect. It looks like Guidon killed his fellow worker and put on this entire bloody spectacle. Hrotko is the one responsible for arresting the rabble, so he will be our best candidate for shedding some light on the Guidon character. Interrogate Guidon. The honored machine spirit is tired. It cannot bear any more of this torture. I see that you got what you came for, so I would ask that you let the elderly have their rest. Activating the deep hibernation protocol. Pascal's mechanodrite disconnects from the master cogitator's dataport in a respectful motion. The trill of binary prayers lulls the elderly spirit's fading lumens. May the Omnisaya bless this machine with healing slumber, that the sacred unity of its anode and cathode may be purified and shine once more. Okay. Can we play the game now? I don't want to talk anymore. I really hope the next Warhammer has voice acting, man, for everything. This is so annoying. You don't even know. I do not do well with talking for long periods of time. Okay. Isn't this where we met Theodora? Pretty sure. When will they let us go already? My shift foreman's gonna cut my rations. He will say we have been dawdling. Roar! So wait, where are we going here? Huh. Servants. Your lordship, we didn't do it. I swear on the throne. Decius. Pascal. What is this? Do I save scum? Bam. Oh shit. Wait, it failed? He had drama. Wait, no, I wanna see what that is. Oh, nice. Okay, so hitting this one lights up these four? Is that it? Oh no! Wait, so... Oh, it lights up the one next to it. Oh, I see. I see. So... Okay, so it either turns off or turns on the one next to it, depending on what the starting state is. So wait, can we do this then? Start this. No, these are up. Yeah, this should work, right? Okay, yeah. The holy mechanism has sent forth a revelation. The transmitted coordinates resolve to a location on one of the worlds in the Imperium Solidas system. Okay. Oh, this is a cutscene. I can't do anything. The armillary sphere on the officer's deck has pinpointed coordinates on one of the worlds in the Imperium Solidas system. There may be something of value there. Okay. Cool. That's fine. So, what do we do here, though? Like, where do we go? Oh, the enforcer. Okay. I see. Oh, here he is. What's up, my dude? Hrotko looks on with indifference as his people use their batons and legs to interrogate the serfs. Upon noticing you, he nods curtly. Your lordship? How fares the interrogation? Satisfactory. We're maintaining fear and respect among the rabble as we go through our suspects. We will find the culprit soon. I swear it on my rank. If there is a senior pipe warden by the name of Guidon among the suspects, escort him to me. I will question him. Guidon. Yes, we have him here. He's waiting for his turn. We'll bring him over at once. Roar! I have been informed of your decision to question one of the suspects, Lord Captain. I consider it my duty to be present for the interrogation so that I may ensure your safety. Ha! Oh, it's this guy. He was right here all along. Before you stands a gaunt man in war clothes. His face is swollen from the bruises, and several of his fingers are broken and sticking out at odd angles. He stares vacantly into the distance with watery eyes. I thought you said he was still waiting his turn. Why does he look beaten half to death? We don't care about that. Let's proceed. Start talking, you miserable wretch! You tried to kill the Lord Captain, didn't you? Hrotko grabs the worker by the lapels. Guidon's coat flies open, revealing crude occult symbols painted all over his body. What's this? Heretical brands? Cultist scum? Yes, it was me! I tried to put a curse on the Lord Captain. I killed my partner in a wicked ritual, rubbed elbows with them demons, consorted with them, all to carry out a dark plot and doom the Lord Captain for the glory of my almighty master. He bursts into a fit of hysterical, theatrical cackling. Okay, so he's basically lying. His words, he's trying to paint them over with fake garish hues, but his abject terror carries with it too much black and grey. What does he hope to accomplish with this? He has admitted to everything, the vermin. I have insisted, time and again, that the assassination attempt was carried out by one of Voidvir's surviving henchmen, and I was right. I guess we weren't so thorough in clearing them out as we thought. Hrotko casts a sharp look at Sourback. Oh, heretical follower, sense corruption in Guidon. His soul is untouched by the warp. Your gaze pierces him to the core and you see his lips mouth a silent prayer to the Emperor. Oh, so we can sense heresy in others now, because we're heretic ourselves or something. And who is this dark and almighty patron of yours? Master Malachi the Dreadful. Him, yes. The name sounds extremely or strangely familiar to you, perhaps as a demon does indeed exist? How did you kill your partner? Well, I grabbed myself a rusty saw and started hacking at him. Then I pulled out a dagger made from a virgin's bones and stabbed him. Oh right, I also cursed him first. It was only right. None of the wounds on the victim's body could have been inflicted with a saw. There were no dagger wounds on him either. What are those marks on you? What do they mean? These are my cultist marks, so I can put curses on people and talk to demons. He pokes a finger at an uneven semicircle with 9 arrows coming out of it. This one is called the Hame of Terror. It represents the 9 archdemons. I always pray to each one first thing in the morning. You are unimpressed by this half-baked attempt at drawing the 8-pointed star of chaos. So he even got the points wrong. Enough with this theatrics, Guidon. You're no cultist. Why are you so intent on vilifying yourself? The man blanches and starts bawling. He gives up on his sinister theatrics and babbles in the voice of a common worker. Forgive me, your grace. I'm not Guidon, and I'm not a heretic. Yard's my name. I'm a laundryman. Please have mercy. They took my family. That enforcer said she'd throw them out of the airlock if I don't confess. She made me draw these unholy marks on myself. Wait, an enforcer though? What enforcer? Name! Give me her name! Wait, her name? Ginevri! Her name was Ginevri! Oh. The fake cultist Yard claims that he was forced to incriminate himself by Ginevri. The failed heretic raises his hands to his face and you see many purple bruises. They are older than the others by several hours. He was evidently beaten long and hard and he would have been screaming the whole time. Someone must have witnessed it. Ginevri? The steel edge in Sourback's voice causes everyone present to freeze, but you also hear a note of bewilderment. We will deal with her later. I will handle the search for Guidon myself. Lord Captain, would you have us execute this demon worshipper? Huh. Burn him and his family along with him, but be sure to leave him for last. It will be done. Lord Captain, the evidence you have collected is sufficient to apprehend the culprit. I will report to you in the mess hall and we shall bring this investigation to a close. Concluding the investigation in the mess hall of the officer's deck. Okay. Can I play? Oh. That was seamless. Wait, so can we talk to this guy? Arrested worker. Mercy, I'll say whatever you want, but please stop hitting me. Okay. Okay, so let's go back, I guess. Go back to the officer's deck. Not through here. Klein. Sourback. Oh, there is something here, actually. So where did the other enforcer go? Wasn't she here somewhere? Oh, we can't go there anymore. Oh, wait, no. I think it was here. Ginevri, right? Wasn't she arguing with a dude? The cog? Oh, they're not here anymore. Maybe they arrested her already. Okay, there's Jocasta. What are we doing? Lord Captain, the real Pipe Warden Gwydion has been found and is being escorted here as we speak. Are there any remaining questions you wish to address before we hear from Gwydion himself? Someone attempted to mislead our investigation. We cannot let this go without consequences. Undoubtedly, let us go over the facts we have on the sabotage and compile them. The body of the deceased was mutilated after death. It is likely that the nature of the injuries would have proven very useful in the investigation, and that the perpetrator concealed them for that very reason. Someone sabotaged the work log cogitator, so it would be harder for us to find the victim's partner, who might have information valuable to the investigation. Instead of the murdered man's partner, we were given a fool, one who thoroughly incriminated himself first before admitting that Captain Ginevri had put him up to it. Sourback glowers at Ginevri and she pales with fear. Who was guarding the body? It was Ginevri. I relieved her when I came to inspect the corpse, which by then had already been cut up. Ginevri nervously adjusts her armor under Sourback's piercing gaze. The corpse was already looking like that when it came under my purview, but I could not get the name of the officer who discovered it. The deck was such a mess that I decided I would deal with it later. A bloody synth code was discovered not far from the corpse, yeah. I would ask the enforcers in this room to present their codes. The rustle of synthetic fabric fills the room. All the enforcers show their codes except Hrotko. He shrugs complacently under the gaze of his comrades. I do not wear it. An enforcer must be able to withstand the cold, and the serfs treat synth codes as a sign of weakness. Behind the armor of affected indifference, his thoughts ooze grimy hues, like blood mixed with amber. It looks vile. Who had access to the work log cogitator? The tech priest did not let anyone near the cogitator. They even tried to prevent the enforcer's investigation. Ginevri, were you there the entire time? Yes, ma'am, since the start of the watch. I went there right after I handed the body over to Klein. The only time I stepped away was to retrieve the data slate from my quarters. I left a watchman, but he went missing. Most likely one of the officers did not realize he was on duty and sent him off on some errand, but I was gone only for a few minutes. Very convenient. A missing sentry, a data slate misplaced against regulations. Hrotko drums his fingers on a holster on his belt where his own data slate sits tightly nested. I don't understand how I could have forgotten it. I always check my gear when I go on duty. Suspect Yard claims that you coerced him into lying about himself, Ginevri. What do you have to say for yourself? I may have conducted his preliminary interrogation, like so many others. Hrotko requested my assistance because of my experience in dealing with the rabble, but I swear that there is no truth to these accusations against me. The transcript says you conducted Yard's interrogation alone. Why is that? Because I can handle a single laundryman. Ginevri raises her chin proudly. Captain Ginevri, all the evidence points to you. You are charged with sabotage and consequently sentenced to death. Hrotko, this is all you're doing, is it not? I mean, it has to be Hrotko, right? Sourback draws her auto pistol and points it at Hrotko, who appears entirely unperturbed. I will give you one chance to retain your last shred of honor and confess. You sabotaged the investigation. Why? Is it not obvious? Hrotko smugly arches an eyebrow to expose the conspiracy myself and to prove your incompetence to his lordship, to take the place I actually deserve. For years I toiled for the good of the dynasty, and when the former master at arms was killed, I was refused my promotion. Instead, they give the position to you, a self-serving sourback nit. I guess a noble name means more than talent. When this crime occurred, I realized it was my chance to show what I was worth. While you were busy dallying, I quickly learned the name of the suspect, diverted the course of the investigation, an easy enough task, and began looking for the real Guidon. Had I found him in time, your position would have already been mine, Yocasta. Simply listen to yourself, and you will understand why they made me Master at Arms. Lord Captain, I request permission to dispose of this refuse personally. Hrotko, were you really hoping you could deceive the Master at Arms and me? Why were you trying to frame Ginevri though? A backup plan. You always need someone to blame if you make a mistake. I could have framed Klein, but that young upstart was already galloping through the ranks too fast and was clearly aiming for my station. Besides, she and her thick-witted subordinates were always right where I wanted them to be. You do not seem to fear punishment. With all due respect to your lordship, I'm an enforcer. I have looked death in the eye, and I will accept your judgment with dignity. There is no bravado in Hrotko's words, just a dry statement of facts. You're a liar and a blackguard, but I commend you for your intelligence. I have no need of such enforcers, but I could use another spy. You will sow confusion among my rivals for the good of the dynasty. Triumph of Justice. The flagship's shield strength and evasion are increased by 5%. Huh. Do I care about that? Or ship battles? Oh, this is Iconoclast, but we don't get anything. Huh. No heretic option, huh? I'm gonna do this. Use him as a spy. Thank you for your high praise. I'm grateful to have had this opportunity to prove my usefulness to you, albeit under unusual circumstances. Hrotko remains unfailingly polite and completely ignores the seething sourback. That takes care of the traitor. Now, let us proceed with interrogating the pipe warden. Oh right, Guidon. The pipe warden does his best to remain reverentially bowed, which paints a rather comical picture given his formidable height and complexion. He lowers his head, tugging at his beard. Senior Pipe Warden Guidon, honored to serve, Lord Captain. I'm ready to confess to everything. You're the real one, right? I am, and I'm proud of it, Lord Captain. A Pipe Warden's craft is hard work, but necessary. My number is this, my work partner was the late Orto. I oversee the water supply systems on the upper decks. That includes Valve 27B. There can be no mistake, I have verified his identity myself. It has also been confirmed by the other workers. Why did you fill my bath with blood? I did as a servant of death commanded. She said the Emperor gave the first spinner a sign. Okay, yeah, that's the Vizier, right? That your lordship should be bathed in the blood of poor Orto, my partner, and well, I was scared, so I obeyed. The first spinner? Are you talking about the Vizier of the Bloodspan Web? Yes, that's him. He leads the death cultists, the lot who worship the Emperor by killing. His spinners hunt down heretics, but sometimes they take righteous lives too. Their service is mysterious, fervent, and bloody. If the Vizier ordered it, there must have been a reason. The Undying One must have revealed something to him that we're ignorant of. Did you kill your partner? I didn't kill him, and I didn't know he was a mutant. Orto and I always got along, even if he wasn't much for talking. But then, a servant of death came from the darkness, ended him quickly but harshly. She bled him dry and put a black feather in his throat. She told me to pump blood into the pipes, and then she left. I wanted to confess, but I was afraid she would come for me too if I did. Whom do you mean by the servant of death? A holy slayer in black and crimson and bone. Feared by all, they are, quiet and merciless as death itself. They come from the shadows to kill because the Emperor commands them so. You have already met the servants of the Bloodspan Web, Lord Captain. Their green procession is not one the upper decks will soon forget. Yeah, summon the Vizier. As you will. Your Lordship, if I may ask, what happens to me now? I never meant to anger you. I thought I was doing as the Emperor willed it, but here we are. I'm a simple man. I know pipes, and I know them a lot better than all this people business. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but I can still smell rust in metal, though not so much in people's thoughts. I will have you provided with the best ocular implant for your work. You were deceived. I will not punish you. Give him lasses. Hopefully he will think more about whose orders to follow next time. You drenched the rock trader in blood. Did you expect to simply walk away afterward? I think not. Hang the scum! It will be done, Lord Captain. I will also order to have his fellow pipe wardens thoroughly examined for rust in their brains. Guidon hangs his head. My mom always said I would die an idiot. Oh, that's good, that's good. The Vizier of the Bloodspan Web treads lightly and silently as if his old gaunt body has no weight at all. He whispers weakly, Domin Marae's will to see me, and so I have come. Decrepit worm, you will pay for your mutinous plot with your life. Nah. Master-at-Arms, inform this man of the accusations against the cult. Investigation has established that the Bloodspan Web orchestrated an attack on his lordship by means of pouring unholy blood into his bath. This affront... Domin Marae's knows the truth. So it was done, for so I did will. It was no affront, but a prophecy. For my hands to divine, unsullied martyrs offer their souls and bodies into his imperishable embrace. I gazed into the red rivers of their smoldering lives, and I did see a roiling unclean, staining the base, reaching for the anointed lord of the Ark. What? In my apprentice's last sighs, I heard the Undying One's whisper. He bid me, bathe the Domin in the blood of he who must go, and they who have been righteous, for this will seal the Domin and strengthen his body against the roiling unclean. I obeyed. You hear laughter scraping against the inside of your head. The Emperor bid him? This old fool sacrificed his disciples to rid their flesh, blood and bones. He wants to see the Corpse Emperor's revelations in the tangle of happenstance. He is so desperate that he invents omens for himself. Kibela, did you know about this? When I saw the wounds made by the hand of a fellow believer, I guessed, but the Vizier chose not to warn you, and so it was not my place to do so either. If there had been a plot against you and a knife aimed at you, I would have given you some sign, but the Vizier means you no harm, he is your servant. Where your other subjects' threads are clear and straight, his lie in the shadows of hints and secrets. Trust him as I do. So the man you killed, who was he? I know not. I heard only the name and I knew he must go. Yes, we need no more knowledge than that. Damn. What do you mean by the roiling unclean? He did not reveal, but it is corruption in itself. It offends him. It tastes as sweet as fetid waters in old pipes. Its promises are the deception of an enforcer's smile. Its face is elusive. Do you claim that you did it because the God Emperor willed so? I speak, move and draw breath because he willed so. I defy not the Undying One, neither in death that gifts and takes, nor in my living existence. Well, could your vision have been false? I held the cards of his tarot, washed in the blood of the righteous. They make no mistakes, and neither does he send false visions. Only mortals, they who read the signs, they who interpret. Okay, so Master-at-Arms, are you convinced that we found the culprit? The situation is clear, your lordship. The Emperor has sent us a portent. The protector of mankind guides the hands of his holy servants to guard us and warn us of hidden threats. Could it be a coincidence that the victim of the ritual was a genetic aberration? The officers around you keep a respectful silence, but you can tell by their faint smiles that they find the very idea of doubting the Emperor's providence absurd. Ah. I will not have murders and bloody rituals committed on my ship, henceforth the cult is banned from engaging in such spectacles. Now, if you think that your tales will save you from punishment... Before you can finish your sentence, a curved dagger appears in the vizier's hand. There is a flash of steel in the air, and 5 severed fingers land at your feet. He says, his voice unfaltering, "We have displeased you. We are guilty." His parchment-like skin grows even paler. He carefully bandages his maimed hand, then bows his head low. "It is disgraceful for me to stand before you, Domin. I beg you to accept the cult's apologies. My apologies. I am ashamed." Be that as it may, we have hit a dead end. We hope that exposing the culprits would lead us to the aberration's lair. Yeah, I guess the investigation must continue. But no spinner or brave warrior from the Domin circle can find the roots of the unclean, for it can appear as human and act as human. Only its thoughts betray its vile nature. Only its thoughts are never human. Vice. Anxious silence falls the moment Saurabak says this one word. She narrows her eyes. Is it unclean thoughts we need to find? Very well, let Vice find them. He knows how, no matter how badly he wishes the rest of us forgot about it. Veni Zachary is a fearsome hunter. When he hunts, the flagship wails. When he thinks, my teeth creak, and I can feel pain as if I'm young again. But his power is great indeed. He can hunt down our prey. How can the core master of the astropaths be of use to us? The esteemed Zachary Weiss can perform the ritual of thought reading. This practice lets him do a cursory examination of the minds of thousands of people in search of certain individuals. A ritual as rare as it is dangerous, and only someone as versed as Master Weiss can accomplish such a feat. Damn! So he can basically read everyone's thoughts in the ship? Has Weiss done something like that before? Once, Lady Theodora made use of his services to expose spies on board, who apparently had been in the employ of Lord Inquisitor Calcazar. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that not everyone here is eager to leave this matter to Master Weiss, yeah. I would say the one least eager will be Master Weiss himself. Last time his efforts caused some severe warp manifestations. The ritual truly is perilous. I didn't see the ritual, Weiss kicked me out, but the echoes of it that reached the decks were enough to scare me shitless. Weiss is a mighty old grox, but his head is a mess. And I mean the bad kind of mess, the astropathic kind. I say we think twice before we risk having whatever lives inside his head crawl out. I mean, yeah, heavy Dira, maybe she can do it? The Vizier listens intently, not to the words of anyone present, but rather to someone invisible and audible. I hear you, yes, the witch is weak. Death whispers of many names that it would claim, if she is allowed. Names whose time to be erased is not now. I'm not weak. Lady Theodora didn't keep weaklings around, and neither does the Lord Captain. But a telepathic ritual of that scale really would be too big of a bite for me on my own. If it's listening to the whispers from behind the door or frying someone with lightning, that I can do. But looking for mutants by following the trail of their unclean little thoughts, that takes a special kind of learning. Okay, so that's all. Master at Arms, your duty is done. I give you leave to wrap up the investigation on the officer's deck. My duty will be done when the threat is eliminated. I will brief the enforcers while you consult Core Master Weiss, Lord Captain. Oh boy, okay guys, I think we'll take a break here, man, cause this one has been too much for me. There's too much reading, I'm exhausted. Talk to Core Master Weiss, yeah. We'll do that next time, guys, we'll do that next time. This quest seems to be like very long or something. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.